I have a very funny story about that to tell you later.
Rohan Patel compliment. Hey, how are you?
Hey Rohan, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
So you guys are playing brother and sister in this, which is you had to develop a very like special kind of chemistry and familiarity. So what was that sort of prep like when you just were getting to know each other?
We first FaceTimed
Mm.
in March
Or
of 2020.
February, March,
Yeah,
end of February,
end of
maybe.
February. And I mean, our first FaceTime was probably like, I think it was like 2 hours or something.
It was long,
We
yeah.
like,
We had
we
the
were like,
whole evening on there.
yeah, we like ended up just talking and realizing that we have a ton of similarities from our childhood and from growing up. And, um, it was kind of an immediate connection. And then when we got together in London, it was undeniable the amount of just kind of wild, destined little things that linked up. So it was shockingly easy. Sometimes you really have to work for that relationship. And for us, it just kind of flowed and it was one to one for the characters. So we
Yeah.
were lucky, really
Yeah.
lucky.
We knew we had that in the pocket, actually, which was
Yeah,
good,
we
like,
rely on that.
yeah, because it's such an important element in the show. If that
Mm,
relationship between Burton and Flynne isn't working, then in a lot of ways the show really suffers. So
mm,
just to know from the shorthand that we had between us
mm.
that we had that bit down and we didn't really need to worry about it too much. I think that certainly gave me a lot of confidence on the show where it was like, okay, well, we can focus on the other sort of story points now and mind those and not have to worry. So that was
Yeah,
great.
definitely a
So
package deal.
Yeah.
yeah, no, you guys did great with that. And
Thank
so
you.
like both neither one of you are like unfamiliar with the action scenes because you've done it so many times. But
Mhm.
for this, for Chloe, when you're playing this character Flynne, who is from North Carolina. You don't typically like I'm in North Carolina right now, so it's like you don't
Oh,
typically so it hits very close to home, and so you don't.
where are you if you
So
don't
when
mind me asking?
I'm right outside Raleigh and Cary.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
cool. My family's from Hickory.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where that is. But so like when you're reading for Flynne, what was it that initially attracted you to the character?
I mean, the similarities between she and I were uncanny. The small town that we based the show where we actually were filming the show was only 20 miles from Hickory.
Hmm.
So just like geographically, I felt like I understood who she was. And I think that plays a huge role in Burton and Flynne, is their town is a big part of who they are. But for me, it was the story of this girl who also used gaming as a way to escape, and a way to role play, and a way to have an edge. I think I grew up with four brothers, and a way that I was always able to kind of beat them at was gaming. I might not be able to tackle them when we're playing football or something like that, but I could always totally kick their asses at gaming. And I think it was something for me that was really integral to my growth. And being able to see how Flynne was able to input that also once she realized that she was not just operating a game, but actually operating a body in future London was really fantastic, and I think is just kind of the ultimate story.
Awesome. And so Jack, you're playing this veteran. Like I grew up in Fayetteville, like right outside Fort Bragg.
Mm.
So like when you were getting into Will's headspace, like uh what did your research entail? Like when you're like getting into this brotherhood mindset, like what did you learn about Will that like helped you fully completely understand him?
Well, the thing about, I mean, I've done some like sort of military centric projects before, and I had
Mm.
kind of done research on that stuff prior to all this. And I have a good few friends who are kind of in the military as well. So I kind of had an understanding of that stuff coming into the show. Obviously, these haptic implants that Burton has in his body are something that's unique and different. So we actually talked more about that than we really did the military side. It was more like, what does it mean for these guys to have this situational awareness? Do they feel the same feelings as a result of this thing that's physiologically connected to them? Like they share this kind of unique experience of post-traumatic stress from the war they were in, and it's related to these haptic implants that they have. So that was what we really wanted to explore and kind of mine, and I think that we got to a really interesting place with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time, both of you. I really appreciate it. It's been great to meet you. And I'm a huge fan, like Age of Extinction, Kick-Ass. Shadow in the Cloud was really cool last year.
Thank you.
But thank you so much. Really appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot, man.